He is holy, and he wanted me to make me just like him, holy and righteous. So what he did for me is change me from those ways. And for those of you who are playing Pokemon Go and wasting your time with your life playing Pokemon Go, come to Jesus now, because there's no more time to be wasted, because time is getting quicker in life, and your life is getting shorter and shorter every day. Younger people are dying. So many young people die every day. Young people who possibly have a life to live with Jesus, that could live a life to live Jesus, they die really young every day. They don't have to. Most of them, because they have bad lifestyle, or they just die because their life is just taken away from them, because it was their time. But if you don't know when your time is due, neither do I know my time. That's why I'm here preaching this word out to you, so you won't have to end up in hell. So you won't have to be living an eternity without your Creator. Power truth for you today, I honestly wish I would have just stayed home. My flesh tells me to stay home and just do the things that I want to do and stay in my house and do nothing. But I can't do that. All the gay people, all the straight people, all the LGBTQ people, come to Jesus right now. For those of you who are confused by your gender, whatever you were born with, that's your gender. If you have an outie, then you're male. If you have an innie, then you are a woman. Your body is fine. There's nothing wrong with you. God did not make any mistakes. He created you fine. You were not meant to do that with your body. You were meant to worship Him with your body. You're meant to do what He wanted you to do with your body, which is serve Him and be His creation. You do not have to identify yourself with what you like and what you're attracted to. Your identity is in Christ. It's in Jesus Christ. You come to Him and you find who you are. Your identity is not in what you used to like, or what gender you're attracted to, or what gender you're not attracted to. It's with Jesus Christ. So if you continue to identify yourself as gay, homosexual, bi, pan, whatever, then and you live your life just by what you're attracted to, then basically that's just who you are ever going to be. When there's so much to you than there is. Jesus did not create you just to be attracted to some gender or sex, but rather he created you for Him. He created you to worship Him. He created you to do His will, to live for Him. Not to live for yourself, not to live for your genitals. Jesus didn't create you for that. That's not what you were created for. You could do that if you want, but that's not going to bring you to heaven. That's going to bring you to hell. That's why I'm here today, because I don't want any of you down there. That's a really bad place. Eternal hell, the lake of fire, separated from your Creator for eternity. Does that sound like any fun to any of you? Does being without your only one true Creator for an eternity sound like fun to any of you guys? It doesn't sound like fun to me. It sounds like horror. It sounds like terrible horror. I want you guys to go to heaven. I'm not spreading and preaching any hate here. I'm preaching love. I'm preaching only the gospel. I'm preaching God's holy message. I'm not preaching all this stuff about hating gays or any of this non-things. I don't hate gays. I love them. I want them to go to heaven. That's why I'm telling them that what they're doing is wrong, and they can have freedom with Jesus and eternity with Jesus, and that He could change their life and He could change their ways of thinking. But they just have to change. They just have to come to Him and let Him be Him, and He could stop what they do. He could stop doing. He could change them into a new creature. He can make them into a new creation. But they just have to want Him. They just have to want who He could create them to be. So don't live on the lies of what the world tells you. Don't live on the lies of what people tell you, that you're born this way, and the lies that you told yourself that you're born this way. This is how you always knew yourself, and that you grew up, and that you knew this way. So you knew that you liked boys, or you knew you liked girls since you were about 4. Don't lie to yourself like that. You know something as bad has happened to you when you were a kid. This doesn't speak for every single homosexual. I'm sorry if I'm generalizing too many of you, but this speaks for most of them. Most of them were child molested or raped when they were kids, and that indicates that they were not born that way. You were not born this way. You were born living with a mind that was meant to love the opposite sex, to love Jesus. The only same sex you're supposed to love is Jesus if you were a guy. And the only opposite sex that you should be loving